So today is about similar figures. They have the same, so similar, I should write that down. Similar are same shape, so they're like both triangles, but don't have to be the same size. Okay? So it's like two triangles that are the same shape, but they're one smaller than the other. So, like this. So we have this triangle, and I'm fancy and made it different colors. And then we have this triangle. And if you use your imagination, because I'm not a very good drawer, you could see that those are the same shape, but they are different sizes. So now we're going to label these, and we're going to label these. This is going to be C, and this is going to be F. This is going to be E, and this is going to be B. And then the other one, I bet you can guess, is A and D. Okay? So, corresponding angles is our next vocabulary word. And basically, those are angles in the same place. So, same place. So, for instance, this red angle here, actually we're going to go, we'll go red. This angle, angle A and angle D, are corresponding because they're in the same place on the triangle. And then angle B and angle A, because they're in the same, that's E, place. And then angle C and angle F, because they're in the same place. We also have corresponding sides, which again is the same place. So, if we look at this, we're going to say this is triangle 1 and this is triangle 2 while I talk. So if we look at triangle 1, the red line, we label line AB, and that little line over is a line segment. And then we do the red line off of triangle 2, line DE. And notice how I started with A and ended with B, so I have to go in the same order with triangle 2. I have to start with the lower and end with the higher, okay? And then if I'm looking at the blue line, I'm going to start, if I start with the higher, I have to start with the higher letter here. And if I end with the lower, I have to end with the lower here. So I would do BC and EF. And then the green line, if I start with the left, I have to end with the right, and if I started with the left in triangle 1, I have to start with the left in triangle 2 and end with the right. So we get line CA and FD. Okay? So here's what I would do. Like with triangles, always go the same way. Go, for one, go bottom to top, then top to bottom, then right to left. You can do what you want though. As long as you can go in any order as long as your letters match up. So if you decide you're going to go top to bottom here, this has to go top to bottom. So it's easier to keep the same pattern with each shape so you don't get messed up. So on example 1, it says determining whether two triangles are similar, and it gives you this picture. And like I said, my drawing abilities are subpar. That's a word for you. And here we go. That's close enough. And we have E, D, and F. And we have S, R, and Q. S, R, Q. And then it tells us this is 7 inches. It tells us this is 8 inches. It gives us a lot of information. 12 inches. Tells us this is 36 inches. 21 inches. And 24 inches. Okay? Then it also tells us, if we can fit this information, that this angle here is 106 degrees, that this angle here is 34 degrees, and that this angle here is 40 degrees. And then it tells us this angle here is also 34 degrees. This angle here is 40 degrees. And this angle here, you probably guessed, is 106 degrees. So we're going to tell whether the triangles are similar. Remember, similar means that they have the same shape, but not the same size necessarily. So we're going to look at these. We're going to first look at our lines, okay? And we're going to do the same thing we just did above with the corresponding. So, oh man. I touched the screen. This line here and this line here are in the same place, so that means they're corresponding. So I'm going to start with the bottom, EF, and I'm going to say this symbol means correspond, and then I'm going to start with the bottom of the yellow, RS. Then I'm going to look at this line here and this line here, and I'm going to go from top to bottom. FD similar to SQ. And then I'm going to look at the bottom line, and I'm going to start with the right. So we have DE is similar to QR. All right? So the next thing we want to do, this is where it gets a little confusing, okay? We want to write each one of these as a fraction. So we're going to look at the yellow, all right? And we're going to say this is triangle 1 and triangle 2 again. And I always put triangle 1 over triangle 2. And you know that they have 3 sides, so we're going to have 3 fractions. And we want to see if these all equal each other. So we're going to start with the yellow side. Triangle 1, the yellow side, is 8. Triangle 2, the yellow side is 24 inches. Then we're going to go to the blue side. Triangle 1, the blue side is 12. Triangle 2, the blue side is 36. Then we're going to go to the green side. Triangle 1, the green side is 7. And in triangle 2, the green side is 21. So, then you simplify, and if you have triangle 1 over triangle 2, 8 goes into 8 and 24 and simplifies to 1/3. So divide by 8, divide by 8. Then you got to think 12 goes into 12 and 12 goes into 36. So you divide each by 12 and you get 1/3. And then you got to think of the biggest number that goes into 7 and 21, which is 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1/3. So that's how you tell. So they are similar because they all simplify to the same fraction. So let's look at one more thing here. We have four-sided. This is a trapezoid. And we have, it looks like this. And we have a smaller side. And then we have blue. And then we have green. And then we have black. Okay, and we have E, F, G, H, and we have L, M, N, O, and this is 4, and this is 4, and this is 8, and this is 6, and then we have 10, 10, 20, and 15. So in order to look at this, it's pretty easy because all of our lines are already different colors. So we're going to say this is 1 and this is 2. So we put 1 over 2. There are 4 sides. So we're going to have 4 fractions, and this is our shape. Shape 1 over shape 2, so you don't think that's one of the fractions. So we're going to look at the red first. Length of red 1 is 15, length of red 2 is 6. Then we're going to look at the blue. Length of blue 1 is 10, length of blue 2 is 4. Then we're going to look at the green. Length of green 1 is 10, length of green 2 is 4. And then we're going to look at the black. Length of shape 1, black is 20, length of shape 2, black is 8. So then we have to think, what's the biggest number? 3. So we divide both of those by 3 and get 5 halves. Biggest number is 2. Divide and get 5 halves. Biggest number is 2 again. You get 5 halves. And the biggest number is 4. So you get 5 halves. And these are all equal together. So that's similar. So what I would suggest is, even though it might be a little bit time consuming, is you draw out those shapes on your notebook paper with 4 different colors if it's a 4-sided shape, or 3 different colors if it's a 3-sided shape. And then it's going to, just like this was really easy for me to tell which ones corresponded, because it was either my yellow ones or my blue ones or my green ones, same thing's going to happen.